Welcome once again to Legal Remedies. Before we begin the discussion, may I request you to kindly subscribe to the channel if not already done. In this edition of Legal Remedies, the point we are going to focus upon today is the legal status of children born out of a live-in relationship. In this video, I shall also conclude the discussion on the subject of legal rights of women in live-in relations, referring first to the legal principles settled by the courts addressing the women's right to protection orders under the Domestic Violence Act and status and legal rights of children born out of a live-in relation, and whether a woman in live-in relation can invoke Section 498A of the IPC. I have already discussed about the possibility of invocation of the provisions under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act of 2005, and I am quoting here some of the judicial precedents touching upon the settlement of legal principles regarding the right of women to reside in matrimonial home, removal of the respondent from the shared household, and alternate accommodation for the aggrieved person. By way of the judgment in the case of Vidyadhari in 2008, the Honorable Supreme Court ruled that the property of a Hindu male upon his death intestate could be given to a woman with whom he enjoyed a live-in relationship, even though he had a legally wedded wife alive. The other important questions framed for addressing the legal proposition up for discussion today are: what is the legal status of children born out of live-in relationships? What are their rights to maintenance and succession, if any? And what about the custody guardianship rights in favor of their biological mother? The Honorable Supreme Court of India in the case of SPS Balasubramaniam for the first time ruled and upheld the legitimacy of children born out of a live-in relationship. In a pronouncement made in the case of Tulsa later on in 2008, the Honorable Supreme Court ruled that the children born out of a live-in relationship will not be illegitimate, with an important precondition that parents must have lived under one roof and cohabited for a significantly long time for the society to recognize them as husband and wife. In terms of the ratio of another judgment in the case of Revana Siddappa versus Mallikarjun in 2011, the Supreme Court further held that the birth of a child out of such relationship has to be viewed independent of the relationship of the parents. It is as plain and clear as sunshine that a child born out of such relationship is innocent and is entitled to all the rights and privileges available to children born out of valid marriages. The children born out from live-in relationships are considered eligible for maintenance from the father under Section 125 of the CRPC. However, they do not have any such right under the Hindu Adoptions and Maintenance Act of 1956. Where the live-in satisfies the condition of a reasonable period as set out by the courts, a child being legitimate can inherit from both the parents. In Revana Siddappa, the Supreme Court granted the inheritance to the 4 children born from the women with whom the man shared a live-in relationship, calling them his legal heirs. Similarly, in the case of Vidyadhari, referred earlier in this video, the Supreme Court has also ensured that no child born from a live-in relationship of a reasonable period may be denied inheritance. Where the father and the mother are not married to each other and a child is born to such parents, the mother and not the father has the parental responsibility for the child. Section 6B of the Hindu Minority and Guardianship Act of 1956 provides for such mother as the natural guardian over any illegitimate children she has. The next all-important question we have today for discussion is whether a woman in a live-in relation is entitled to invoke Section 498A of IPC. It was in the case of Shivcharan Lal Verma in 2007 that the Supreme Court held that there must be a valid marital relationship between the accused and the victim. Otherwise, the penal provision of Section 498A cannot be attracted. However, in another case in 2009 named Kopisetti Subba Rao The Supreme Court went on to protect the women in a relationship where the woman was facing harassment on account of dowry. It was as recent as in 2017, in the case of Unni Krishnan versus State of Kerala, that the Kerala High Court, following the ruling of the Supreme Court in the case of Shivcharan Lal, held that the woman in a live-in relationship was not entitled to file a complaint under Section 498A. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel for viewing upcoming discussions of similar nature, and please comment, like the video, share the video so that others interested may have the benefit of the information. Also, please press the bell icon and get notified about the next releases.